Let's play a game. I'm going to show you 3 cars. I want you to tell me which one is American, which one is Japanese, and which one is Korean. Difficult, isn't it? If you remove the badges from the front of these cars, 99% of people couldn't tell the difference. They all have the same sloping roofline, the same angry headlights, and the same bloated shape. If you guess that they are all generic traffic, you win. The truth is, modern car design has hit a wall. We aren't seeing the wild variety of the 1950s or the boxy experimentation of the 80s. We are seeing a copy-paste reality. But why? You might think car designers are just lazy. You might think they're all copying each other's homework. And while that's partly true, the real villain here isn't the person, it's physics. There's a term in biology called Convergent Evolution. It describes how different animals, completely unrelated to each other, eventually evolved to look the same because they face the same environment. Sharks are fish. Dolphins are mammals. They haven't been related for millions of years, yet they have the exact same body shape. Why? Because that is the only shape that works efficiently in water. The exact same thing is happening to our cars. The environment is the air. The goal is fuel efficiency or battery range. When you let the wind tunnel design the car, you always end up with a teardrop, or more accurately, a jellybean. This pursuit of the perfect drag coefficient is the first reason everything looks identical. Whether you are Tesla, Mercedes, or Toyota, the laws of aerodynamics force you into this slippery soap bar silhouette. But it's not just the air, it's the safety. Take a look at the beltline. In the old days, cars had thin pillars and huge windows. They were like fishbowls. Today, the beltline is up to your chin. The pillars are thick tree trunks. The windows are like gun slits. This isn't a style choice, it's a structural requirement to keep the roof from crushing you in a rollover. Every brand has to follow the same safety regulations, so every brand ends up with the same tank-like proportions. And finally, look at the nose. Have you noticed how every modern car has a flat, blunt face? We don't have low, wedge-shaped noses anymore because of pedestrian safety laws. There needs to be a gap between the hood and the engine to act as a cushion. This forces the hood line up, making every car look taller, blunter, and more bulbous. Now, I'm not an engineer. I'm just a guy who likes looking at cool machines. And part of me wishes we could go back to the days where a Cadillac had giant fins and a Jaguar looked like a cigar. But reality is expensive. Making a unique car is a financial risk. If you design something weird like the Nissan Juke or the Pontiac Aztek, you might get famous or you might go bankrupt. It is much safer for a company to look at what sells, which right now is angry SUV, and just make their own version of that. It's basically corporate peer pressure. So the wind tunnel dictates the shape, the government dictates the height, and the accountants dictate the risk. The result is a world where every car is safe, efficient, and reliable, but also kind of boring. Here is my question for you. Would you drive a car that was objectively less safe and had worse gas mileage if it meant it looked truly unique? Or is the jellybean shape a price worth paying for safety? Let me know in the comments. And if you want to understand why car interiors are getting worse too, hit subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.